Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I'm finally going to go back to the Trails in Time second chapter to do the final challenge mission, which is challenge battle number 5, Nightmare of the Arena. Now, I'm just going to jump in and start the battle, and I'm going to say right now that this battle is quite rough. I've struggled a lot with it, and in truth, the wave I struggled the most with is the first wave. If you can get through the first wave, the battle becomes simpler on the second and third wave. But it is kind of random what happens. So what I'm going to do is to reduce the random factor, rather than bringing Ledin, I'm going to have to bring Langrisser with his Royal Cavalry. It is definitely easier to do if you can, well, I should say, Ledin can definitely clear it, especially if he has phalanx soldiers, but the big problem is Ledin may take a long time to clear that first wave. So, pros and cons, basically. Bringing Langrisser allows you to clear the first wave easier and faster, but the detrimental side is, the detrimental side is that you struggle with the time. So I'm just going to bring Langrisser, unfortunately, as my tank. That extra mobility that Langrisser has will help a lot. And that's why I'm bringing him. So this is going to be my party. Langrisser with his faction buff for himself and Resplendent Legends. I'm going to bring Liana with Act Again, Prayer, and Heal. I'm actually going to bring Leon, and he's actually going to bring Smash and a faction buff, so that he can buff up Elwing. And then Lana is going to be brought with 3 attack skills. If you can, it's actually easier to have Lana with a summon skill, summon undead, if possible. If you can't though, 3 attack skills, Dark Reaper, Cleanse, and Freeze Strike is fine too. And finally, Bozo. And Bozo is going to have Dark Waltz, the summon undead that I just mentioned, and Fireball. So, with this party set up, I'm basically ready to begin the fight. So, here we go. And the first turn is primarily about faction buffing and evading the enemy. Welcome back to the Nightmare Arena. Tonight, you can enjoy an even more fearsome banquet than last time. Please enjoy this well-prepared starter, Team Counterattack Rage. Alright, so here is the first wave, which consists of Rachel, Langrisser, and Leonhardt. The funny thing is, these 3 actions are actually preset. It's Tierras that is utterly random. She may decide to stay back and buff up Rachel, or she may decide to move forward and buff up Leonhardt and Langrisser. Believe it or not, I actually want her to move up to buff up Langrisser and Leonhardt, because that makes it faster for me to clear out this first wave. In any case, let's begin. So what I'm going to do is basically position my characters to draw my enemies forward. So let's turn on the danger zone. And I know that Leonhardt is going to move up 3, Chivalry, and move up 3 more. So to evade his attack, which is a Javelin with 2 range, I simply need to move Lena 3 tiles north, and she is safe. Then I can move Elwyn up on a diagonal and be safe. Liana can move up and be safe, of course. And then I'm going to have my last 3 characters, the faction buffers, move up and buff themselves up. So let's have Langrisser move up and faction buff. Let's have Leon move up and faction buff. And Bozo is actually just going to move back 2 tiles and faction buff here. And the reason for that is to set up to force Rachel to waste her Arcane Blast. In any case though, for the first turn, let's see what Tierras does. I'm really hoping she comes up. She doesn't. She decides to hang back. So I'm going to have a slightly longer fight, because there's no real good way for me to pull Langrisser forward as a result, unless I leave Leonhardt alive, which might be what I have to do. So yeah. Alright. So, to try to keep Leonhardt alive, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start things off with Lena using Freeze Strike on Leonhardt to weaken Leonhardt's soldiers. And then I'm going to want to force Rachel to use her Arcane Blast that I mentioned. So why don't I have Bozo move up to force that to happen. And I want to draw Rachel as far forward as possible, which is here, and then 1, 2, 3. So I want her to use it to there. So to force it out, why don't I actually use Summon Undead and place this summon 4 tiles away from Bozo. So that way 1, 2, 3, 4. So that way they're together, and she will definitely use her Arcane Blast, right? She won't use Demolish, which only has 3 blast radius, because this skeleton won't be targeted otherwise. So that's done. Now, let's move Elwyn as far forward as he can go. And then I want to weaken Leonhardt some more, but not actually kill him, which is a job for Leon. So let's have Leon just melee attack Leonhardt. He takes a beating, but Leonhardt's nearly dead, and that's what I need. And then finally, let's have Landius move up and just have Landius activate his guard skill. And then why don't I have Liana move up, and she can choose to either... Actually, I'm going to have Liana move up and use her again so that I can have Lana do a free range attack on Landius right now. So let's move up and throw a Dark Reaper at Landius to weaken his Royal Cavalry. There we go. Rachel, as expected, moves up, wastes the Arcane Blast. Landius activates Tranquility to guard Leonhardt, and Leonhardt attacks my Landius and dies. And Tiaris comes up to buff up Landius. So now I need to choose between killing Rachel or killing Landius. Well, I think I have no choice but to go after Landius because Rachel is too far away. So let's begin by weakening Landius. And what I'm going to do is have Lana throw out a cleanse attack. I don't know what buffs she's going to remove with cleanse, but any buffs is better than none. So let's do it from 3 rage because I'm kind of worried about the amount of attack Landius has in truth. So that's just a weakening strike to start things off. And I got a bit lucky here. It actually removed the healing light of Tiaris, reducing Landius's, making Landius much easier to kill. At this point, to be honest, I normally have Elwyn use Sword Soul, because with even if Tiaris' healing light is still active, the Royal Cavalry are reduced enough that Landius cannot one-shot my Elwyn anymore. So let's actually just do that. So Elwyn moves forward and uses Sword Soul to hammer Landius and prevent him from healing for the next few attacks. Doesn't do much damage, but that was not the goal of that attack. And then let's have Leon smash Landius as soon as I can heal up my party. So let's prayer up at this point due to all the damaged characters I have. Okay, so Leon, moving forward, will smash Landius and get the first kill. Or even permanently kill him. Did he die earlier? Oh, no. What happened? Okay, I see what happened just now. So the reason he permanently died is because Elwyn did a crit hit and Detect disabled his passive skills, Landius' passives. Thus, Landius falls. Instead of guarding against me, or instead of reviving, because his passive was disabled, that was a kill. So that was luck based completely. But even if he's alive, it's not a big problem. It just means I kill him next turn. But every bit of luck helps in reducing the amount of time it takes me to clear this fight. So I'll take it. And now, why don't I start weakening either Tieris or Rachel? And I think attacking Rachel is a good choice. And I'm not going to have Bozal attack. There's just no point. So, Rachel will use an AoE blast, Demolish, to hit my party, but nobody dies to it. And then Tieris comes down to mass resist up Rachel. So now, it's time to focus down Rachel and Tieris. And I'm just looking at this. Well, Rachel has already used Arcane Blast and Demolish. So she has her only skill now that she can use is Gospel. So that simplifies things for me anyways. So I'm going to have Liana move up first and heal herself. Okay. And now, why don't I start weakening the enemy? And this turn is kind of a freebie. I can kind of just attack as much as I can. I don't really need to kill off anyone per se. So it might be best for me, to be honest, to actually just rip into Tieris for now. So let's do that. At least I'll chop down some of her Bolt Rangers so she doesn't hit that hard. Although Leon, of course, will attack Rachel, chopping down more of her soldiers and retreating. Let's have Landius also attack. Although Landius actually doesn't have that much hit points, but should be fine. And then I can have Bozal attack, but there's no real point when they both have incredibly high magic defense due to mass resist. So I'm not going to bother. So there we go though. Overall, a solid turn. So Rachel, as expected, uses Gospel. Tieris actually attacks me. Wow. But Landius takes that. So now I need to kill Rachel. So here we go. Let's have Elwyn start things off with a melee strike using Frontal Assault. Hammering down as many of the angels as possible and wow, one-shotting Rachel completely. I was expecting to need more attacks, but hey, I'll take that. And now I guess it just means I need to get ready to crush Tieris while healing up all my party characters first. So let's just heal and focus on that before, because I don't actually want to kill her this turn. I need to prepare for the next wave. Because I'm not really in position to take care of it. Especially not with regards to my health, right? At the very least, I need to heal up everyone. So rather than faction buffing or anything like that, I'm simply going to move my characters up and surround her. And that's all I want to do. She uses attack blessing on herself, and it's turn 6, and now I need to finish off Tieris. So what that means is figuring out how to position my characters as well. Well, let's have... First things first, I need to plan out killing of the Rennes of the next wave. And I think Leon with Bozo can kill one. Leon with Landius can kill off another. And then Elwyn and Lana can probably kill off a third. Probably. So... well, actually, let's put Bozo with Elwyn. Actually, take that back because Elwyn does not have any attack skills right now. So it's going to be a reasonably low damage attack. Well, let's wait. I guess we'll wait and see. We'll see how it plays out, right? So let's just begin with the attacks. Most importantly is for Liana to heal up my characters. The next wave of Rennes has the main Renne spawn against the field line at the very back center. And then the other two spawn in front diagonal to her. So one spawns on where Landius is and one spawns on where Leon is. Thus, if you position your characters pretty aggressively, you can take care of quite a few of them to start. So... well, let's have Elwyn kill off one. And centralize everybody so that you can easily attack. So let's place Lana, for example, right in the center here. So she can move up or down to attack. Let's have Liana move up to heal up my damaged characters. Perfect. Landius can just activate his faction buff because he's only buffing himself anyways. Bozol is in the centralized position, so he can faction buff. And Leon, let's move him up a little to faction buff. So we're ready for the wave of Rennes. And this wave has random factors because of the random debuffs that you get affected with. So it's very hard to give you a set strategy for for any of these waves, really. Alright, but so a tragic play full of misery. The nightmare of a girl falling in darkness and pain is coming to light. Nightmare Paradise. So there's the 5 Rennes that spawn. And the main Renne says, as long as I behave myself, everyone will come back. So I will wait here. What that means is the main Renne will do nothing initially. Okay? You can't attack her because the young girl ducks her head and ducks down and covers her head with her arms. Damage taken is reduced dramatically. It basically means that until these other 4 Rennes are killed, this main Renne will do nothing. But if you kill off 2 of the other 4 Rennes, she gets a new skill, where at the end of her action, she will apply a random debuff to all enemies. Now, in addition to that, the main Renne, after dealing damage to an enemy, will afflict them with 2 random debuffs. So she ends up applying 3 random debuffs, like this. And the worst thing about her is she has 2 skills, Calamity Throw and Bloody Spin, which adds a Death's Curse, deals mortal damage when the turn ends. So that means 4 debuffs, one of which is an instant kill on a character that gets damaged by her. So there's 2 ways to counter that. The first is to kill her off in 1 turn, without having her ever attack you. The second method is to have Leon with Chivalry guard against her. My Leon has no Chivalry here, so I have to take the option of killing her off in 1 turn. So first, let's deal with the other Rennes. And it's actually fairly easy to actually deal with 3 of them in truth. What I'm going to do is first have Elwyn melee attack 1 of them. Okay. Oh, I should go over the 4 Rennes, shouldn't I? Klaus has Black Hole and Seal. And these other Rennes can only apply 1 random debuff when they damage you. But Klaus can apply 2 debuffs from Black Hole, 1 from the talent, and possibly 1 from Seal. Meaning 4 potential debuffs. 3 to 4. So Klaus is a top priority kill. The other top priority kill is Cow, or Cattle. And she has Acid Burns, as well as Desiccate. Acid Burns makes your enemies cannot be healed. Desiccate makes them have a chance to silence them. So that's why she's another top priority. Cannot be healed is a nightmare. Same with, really, silencing. The last 2, Atta and AJ, are not as important. Atta can sleep and decay you, and AJ has 2 AoE blasts, right? Meteor and Thunderstorm. Overall, I think Atta is the easiest one to deal with, and she's the one I generally leave alone while I kill off the other 3. So let's try to kill the other 3 that I mentioned. And let's begin with a melee attack from Elwin on Cattle. Let's see how much damage this does. It was a crit hit, and it actually ripped up Cattle. So why don't I actually have Lena finish it off with a 2-range Dark Reaper. So one is down. Now the second one to die, that I need to kill I should say, is close. So once again, let's start with a melee attack, which will be Smash. If I can move 5 tiles, let's do that. So let's smash close. It was a crit hit, which did a lot extra damage. And back off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. So to finish her off, I can have either Landius or Bozo attack. Why don't I have Bozo finish? It's just easier to use Bozo as the finisher. So there we go. 2 down. And Renne says, how can this be? And with that, she now has the new buff that cannot be dispelled. After taking action, grant all enemies on the battlefield a random debuff. Can be stacked. So there's 2 enemies dead. Let's try to work down AJ at this point. And that means I'm going to move Liana again. And have her... well, again Leon. So Leon is going to move 5 tiles and melee attack AJ, knocking her down quite a bit, and back off. And then Landius is going to melee attack AJ. Ooh, she lives. Well, 2 enemies alive. One of them puts Landius to sleep. The other uses an AoE, but my character survived, and that's what's important. So let's have Liana move up first, heal herself, and talent heal everyone. And then take down AJ. Elwin needs to actually run away, because he has a debuff of cannot be healed, which was not removed. So let's run him. And now, well, let's have Lena do a 3-range attack on AJ to finish her off. And then start weakening the last one, Atta, a bit. Good enough. All her soldiers are dead, which was my main goal. And yeah, let's just start retreating at this point. So, decay is used, but neither of them die, and that's what matters to me. So in the meantime, let's start running, regrouping, because I need to get farther away from Renne to start. And it's also a preparation for the final wave too. So now it's turn 9, I still have tons of time. So let's start moving back. And Liana is going to move back and heal herself after my other characters move back. So pulling back is what everyone is doing. And Liana is going to heal herself. And her talent will heal up everyone else. And Leon is going to move back. And I can actually afford the faction buff because Elwin will receive it. So that's good. There we go. And Bozo also moving back. I'm trying to keep everyone around Liana so that we can still continue to get healed and have buff removal. Debuff removal. So let's continue to run in the meantime. Elwin was silenced, but that's fine. This one is going to move up 3, so let's just keep running. Landius, can he buff himself? He can. So let's move him back and have him activate his faction buff for now. Lena also shifting back. Leon shifting down. Liana finally shifting. And she's gonna self-heal. And talent heal everyone else. And Bozel still has a debuff of poison. That's fine. So he can just really stay here in faction buff. So there we are. And now I'm in pretty good position to crush the enemy. At least to crush Atta. So let's do it. But the important thing for me is I need to put all my characters in their own lane so that Renne doesn't use Calamity Throw to hit 2 characters and hit them both with Death's Curse. So let's spread out that way. But other than that, it's safe to attack Atta, who has gone back far enough for me to kill. So let's actually have Liana start things off by healing herself and removing the debuffs from everyone else. As always. And now I'm going to have Elwyn melee attack Atta to kill her off. So there we go. And now Renne says, why? Everyone's disappeared. But I always behave well. I did nothing wrong. Liars. Everything's disappeared. It's just me now. So why don't you lot disappear as well? So she goes kind of psycho. And now I need to spread my characters out so there's not 2 characters in any line. So let's place, I guess, Lana here. Bozo can go over here. Landius can go here. He can even activate his guard skill, but it won't matter for this particular fight. And Leon can go all the way up. So there we go. He comes charging forward, debuffing some of my characters, but I'm fine. Actually, debuffing all my characters, I should say. So, let's try to kill her in one turn, right? Or I can knock her back and wait for another turn to take her down. That is the other option. Or I can even, as a third option, retreat back further. Because killing her where she is actually pretty far aggressively forward. So I'm actually going to try to retreat back a bit more. She's going to move up now. It's important to note, most of her skills are very close range, right? True Dark Matter only has 2 range. It's only Calamity Throw that has 7. The Bloody Spin is a self-range attack. So in truth, you can choose to knock her back and then let her keep coming forward. And I may just do that. So let's move Bozel back for now. Liana can at least talent heal the others. Right? If I pull Lena back, she's fine. Leon's gonna get poisoned, but you know, whatever. Actually, what I can do is have Leon move here, right? And get burned. Then have Liana move up a tile to talent heal everybody. And also, let's say, heal up Landius. And then move Elwyn back a tile. And finally, have Landius shift up. So, still outside of Renne's range. And still reasonably centered. Okay, so Renne actually shifted up, which I didn't actually expect. Because it put her out of range of a lot of my characters. So somehow she likes to target Landius, which is fine to me now that I know that's the case. Turn 13, still a lot of time. So why don't I pull her back one more turn, right? So let's take a look at the debuffs again, see if there's any mobility reduction ones. There doesn't seem to be. So I can easily shift my characters as a result. So let's move Elwyn. In general, I'm going to shift my characters up. That's pretty much the plan. So Elwyn can move up. And he moved up 2. So let's have Bozil move up 2. And I need a way to remove that debuff. So maybe right there. It doesn't really matter, does it? Whatever. Alright. Landius is going to move back further. So, like so. Liana is going to move up and remove the debuff from everyone. She can also heal someone, but I don't think anyone actually needs healing. So, whatever. Let's have her self-heal. Alright. Leon is going to faction buff. And Lana is going to move up to tear. So now I'm ready to kill off Renne. Comes charging forward once again. Let's see what debuff is on Leon. Damage taken increase. No big deal then. So I'm just going to have Leon. Actually, I'm just going to start with the attacks then. And let's have Leon. Who should start? Well, let's have Landius start. And then Leon will follow up. Need to crush the sorceresses, I think. Or actually, can Lena Dark Reaper and trade hits? That is a possibility, but it's also dangerous with half the sorceresses still alive. So you know what? Let's melee attack. With Leon first, with a smash attack. We'll go from there. Alright. Lana, as I said, Dark Reaper, which will also self-heal. So got debuffed like mad. But it's fine. Liana will heal. And let's just heal up Leon, I suppose. Doesn't really matter who I heal of these two. And her talent heal will allow Elwyn to do a melee attack to finish off Renne. So just a regular melee strike. Down goes Renne. And now the last wave is spawned. And why don't I even have Bozo drop a summon now at this point? And I'm just going to push it. I'm just thinking. Do I drop it now or do I wait?
Huh?
Well, whatever. Let's hold off. And just have Bozo instead. Faction buff. Or... I'm kind of torn on this. Summon drop or faction buff. It's not that big of a deal in the end. You know what? Let's just summon drop. And move the summon along the very edges of the map for now. There we go. Is everyone satisfied with the main course tonight? Don't panic, the next one is just a small dessert. Such wonderful acts will be performed by both the descendant of the Sword Saint and the Asura, also known as the Blade Lord. How exciting! Team Dark Phoenix! So this wave is Estelle and Leonhardt. Estelle says, I don't know what's going on. Is that a trick of this arena? This power, it feels like I'm no longer weaker than Dad. I have no idea what's going on, but I guess I'd better finish this fight. And Leonhardt says, it feels familiar. But my opponent from last time is now my ally. How strange. Alright, since we must fight, show me what you've got now. Okay, so, quick talk about these two. The reason, even though it's only 2 characters, this wave is insane because, first of all, both of them have 1,000 hit points, right? In addition, they have a lot of hit points on their soldiers too. Amazon champions, around 40,000. Dark guards, around 52,000 hit points. What's worse than just their hit points though is their stats and their skills. Estelle, the way she works is, first, she has a Blade Goddess passive, where after the turn ends, heal 100% of all damage taken that turn. In addition, deals a counter attack to all ranged attacks within 2 blocks. So that's a kind of a nightmare skill. You have to either disable the passive or have Sword Soul apply cannot be healed effect. Disabling the passive is more advantageous because then you can attack her at 2 range and not get a counter attack. Other than Blade Goddess, she has 2 attack skills. Both have no cooldown. True Whirlwind Staff, True Phoenix Wave. The True Whirlwind Staff deals 0.3 times AoE damage to all enemies within 1 ring, and she then receives the Divine Steel Titan effect, lasts for 4 turns. This skill is actually okay, it's manageable, you can deal with it. The skill that is a nightmare is True Phoenix Wave. It dispels all debuffs, then deals 0.35 times AoE damage to all enemies within 3 blocks. After combat, recovers 100% hit points, grants Divine Steel Titan and immunity effects, lasts for 2 turns. The fortunate thing about this is Estelle's first 2 or 3 attacks will always be True Whirlwind Staff. I think it's first 3 attacks. After that, she will switch to using True Phoenix Wave endlessly. The only exception to that is if you kill Leonhardt first. If Leonhardt dies, she will instantly go to using True Phoenix Wave endlessly. So, in other words, no matter what, you have to kill Estelle first, because otherwise Leonhardt will become invincible. Other than that then, is how you deal with, well, Leonhardt. Leonhardt has, he also has insane skills. First, his attack is 1760, which is insanely high. But what's worse is he has True Dark Emperor Sword. It has a 3 block radius, so it's not rings, it's just 3 radius around him. And it it hits characters for 1 times AoE damage, okay? And prevents them from receiving active gain effects. Lasts for 3 turns, cannot be dispelled. In addition to that, right, if Leonhardt hits 2 or more characters, he will get to active gain and heal up. So if he gets to use either of these attack skills, basically, you're screwed. Because he's going to attack twice. So what this means is you can't line up for the Ethereal Fire Machete to hit you because, well, then he's going to charge closer and then use the Dark Emperor Sword. But the True Ethereal Fire Machete also does an AoE line stun. So it's also a nightmare skill. Don't line up, don't expose yourself to True Dark Emperor Sword. That's pretty much what sums it up. And his final skill is Separate, which summons a doppelganger of him. It is lower stats, lower hit points, lower attack, lower everything. But it still has a regular Dark Emperor sword and a regular Ethereal Fire Machete. The one that you get if you own Leonhardt. So it has a 50% chance of stun, I think. And this one would have a 2 ring radius as opposed to a 3 blast radius. Alright, so with all that said, let's begin. And my main goal for this first turn is really, ideally, to force them to split up. So that they don't group up together. So why don't I place this Necromancer closer in hopes of drawing their attention. Or even a cavalry unit. Actually, the cavalry unit may be the best option. It doesn't really matter though. You know what? Let's move the Necromancer. Let's see. Let me think about this. So, Leonhardt will probably move 3 tiles, right? Summon a character here that will move 1, 2, and 3 to here. So if I place a character here, I'm safe. So let's do that. So that's my first action. And then next, I'm going to group my characters up in the north to try to draw Estelle to them. So let's move Elwyn up. Let's move Bozel up. Let's move Lena up. Right? Everyone goes north. All there is to this turn. So Bozel moves up and he'll wait on the faction buff. Well, he can yeah, he'll wait on the faction buff. And finally, Liana will move up, and why don't I heal up? So, Leonhardt charges forward, drops the separate above him, which chases off Leon as well. And then... Leon will be responsible for keeping these two busy for now. So why don't I continue to move back a bit, like so. And... so let's check the doppelgangers, the clone skills. As I said, fusion, Dark Emperor sword. So 2 block, 2 rings is the range, and 0 storm, which is a 1 ring AoE blast radius, so that's easily manageable. And then Ethereal Fire Machete, as I mentioned. So overall, not too bad. So yeah, let's just run the Necromancer for now. So just pulling them forward in the meantime, I suppose. Other than that, let's begin fighting Estelle, who is going to charge forward 1 more turn. So let's have Liana self-heal. I need to just make sure that Leonhardt clone in them won't move up to attack me. So to that end, let's position everyone in a line. Right? So faction buff on Langrisser. Lena stands in line. Bozel shifts back in faction buffs. So just getting everyone into the proper positioning. There we go. And now we're ready to take on my enemies. So first, let's pull up. Let's pull down. Sorry, let's pull down 3 tiles so that they'll chase after Leon. Right. I could also move the Necromancer a bit back if I so wish. Well, you know what? Let's put the Necromancer back, all the way back like this. I'm actually going. It's actually going to force Leonhardt's clone to use Ethereal Fire Machete, which may have been a mistake. Yep. Anyways, in the north, let's kill off Estelle. And to do so, I'm going to use Elwyn to initially apply frontal assault, so that her passive is gone. So there we are. And then I need to stay out of range of Leonhardt. So, you know what? Let's just have Lena attack at 3 range. Or I can have her attack at 2 range, then switch to 3 range. Doesn't really matter. The key point, honestly, is just to stay back. Okay, Ethereal Fire Machete hits. And Leon gets melee attacks by the clone. That's fine, as long as it survives. I don't really care. But in hindsight, summoning the clone was a really incredibly stupid idea. So not something I'll do again. In any case, let's move up 3 tiles, so the clone will chase me, right? And I'm going to have Leon faction buff. In the north, I need to finish off Estelle. Then I have 7 turns to crush Leonhardt. So let's begin, I guess, by prayering up or healing. I don't think it really matters which one I do. Let's swap their positions. So heal with Lena to start, and have Lena use the cleanse ranged attack on Estelle. Removing her buff. Alright, so now she's much more killable. Even if Leonhardt moves up 3, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it can't hit any characters in the north. Thus, I can kind of position them to attack. And there won't be a problem. Regardless though, let's have Elwyn just do a regular strike this turn, because next turn I'm going to need the Sword Soul to finish off Estelle, I think. So we're nearly finished with killing Estelle. And then after that I can start dealing with Leonhardt. So there we go. Alright, let's just end my turns here. Leonhardt moves up, they move up. So this turn Estelle will die. Simply to Elwyn using Sword Soul. So there we go. Estelle falls, and now I need to deal with the Leonhardts. So let's move Leon down south again, so that they keep chasing me to start. Or at least the clone may keep chasing me. I'm going to move Liana up and self-heal. I don't really want Leonhardt to chase me yet in the north. So let's just keep positioned against the wall. So there we go. Yep, they keep coming down. It's turn 20. And now I know he's going to move up here. So he has 1, 2, 3 range, which means if I start shifting my character south, I should be okay. The main goal is to start getting my characters in a position where they can surround Leon. Which means first, let's move him up 3 tiles. Once again. And to draw Leonhard away from the others, that's going to be the challenge. While getting my characters into position to attack and surround. Let's see what I can do. So 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. So this tile, which means I can surround from here. Right? And I can move down for now. Bozo can move down. And faction buff. Landius can also move down. And also faction buff. And Liana will move down and just end her turn, like so. So, up they come. And the question is, do I do the surround right now? Can I even do a surround right now? Only if Leon was able to survive his attack and get to here. And he's not able to. Not after he was damaged by Leonhardt clone. So that means retreat back for this turn. Doesn't it? Let's move down now. Let's try to draw this Leonhardt to me. Okay? If I move back 3, I'm still safe. So, to force a surround situation, I'm going to drop a summon here. Just a moment. Okay. If if I move here, 1, 2, 3, I can help surround. And if I'm here, he moves up. 1, 2. Oh. Fingers crossed that this works. Let's drop the summon here. And Landius. He's gonna move back. So there we go. Yes. So Leonhardt charged up to kill the Necromancer. And the other one shifted south, giving me an opportunity to strike. So I have to surround him. And the way to do so is first have Elwyn move up and melee attack. But before I do that, Landius can move here, right? Liana can surround. Elwyn can surround. So that's 2 tiles. Bozo can fireball, get hasted to surround. Okay, so I'm going to have to use a gain from Liana. So the way I'm going to do this is first, Bozo fireballs Leonhardt to crush some of those dark guards. Next, Lana is going to move up and use a Dark Reaper at 3 range. Alright. Elwyn is going to move up and melee attack at this point. Landius is going to just activate his guard skill, Tranquility. Leon moves up 3, making this other guy follow him and faction buff. Liana will again Bozo. And Bozo will complete the surround. And the fascinating thing about this is if you've surrounded Leonhardt, he will not use an AoE attack. Unless you have 2 characters lined up for him to use Ethereal Fire Machete. Look at this. So with the surround, Leonhardt just does a regular melee attack. So I am reasonably safe now. And if I can prayer up Leon, that would be perfect at this point. So I'm just having to plan that out. So let's actually move, I suppose I have to move Leon into range. Like so. But if I block him this way, he can't use Ethereal Fire Machete. So that would be perfect. And then prayer will affect him. So that's what I'm doing. So Leon positions himself here, preventing the clone from using Ethereal Fire Machete on that line of characters. Lana is going to do a ranged attack on Leonhardt. Elwyn is going to frontal assault Leonhardt. Keeping him alive. The frontal assault with the extra defense, keeping him alive. That was key. Bozo can merely faction buff. Liana will heal my party with prayer. And Landius is going to do a melee attack on Leonhardt. Landius continues to tank hits from Leonhardt. Ethereal Fire Machete stuns my Lana. So be it, as long as they survive. And the second AoE attack doesn't kill anyone, so they still survive. Turn 24. This point,
準備完了です。何をしてるのか分かっているのか。
I'm going to have to try to crush Leonhardt. So melee attack, ranged attack, second ranged attack.
みんな、
全力でいけ。
Melee attack from Elwyn.
戦いはまだ終わっていない。了解。
Leon is just going to move up. He's not even going to attack.
みんな、
And Langrisser is just going to activate his
俺に力を貸してくれ。
faction buff. So Leon, or sorry, Liana has to tank a hit. She dies. Whatever.
調べはここまででいいだ。
This is getting ridiculously close. It is the last turn. Can I kill Leonhardt on this very last turn?
はあ、了解。
はいよ。
Elwyn? Yes. I'm going to have to commit everything. Elwyn. Sword Soul.
Target.
了解。
Leon. Smash. And retreat. Lena. Dark Reaper. And he goes down. Turn 25. Just very barely managed to finish it off. But there is the clear. So 30 Trinity Crystals, 60 challenge points, 2 Trinity vouchers. At long last, managed to do it. I had no choice but to switch to a tank character, Langrisser, because I needed someone to help me do this round, right? As an aside, people who have a fully upgraded Liana, their Liana can actually tank a hit. If you have, for example, if you have Shrine Maidens that are level 10, reducing the damage by 75%, right? And you have a Liana that is fully bonded. So, you know, you're talking about 9% toughness bond and a nearly maxed out heart bond. She can survive the attack of Leonhardt. And that would help you in terms of... and then she can basically heal herself back up to full, right? So if you have a Liana that's that powerful, it could work out. Mind you, you need a Liana with a faction buff, and I don't bring a faction buff on my Liana. So maybe if you had Ledin with Liana, right, that would work out. But the problem with using Ledin with Liana then is getting the surround. That key surround on Leonhardt to prevent him from using his guard skill. Or sorry, from using his AoEs. I used Langrisser because Langrisser had 5 movement. But if you can get a surround without using Langrisser, maybe, for example, you use Ledin, and you have Ledin perfectly positioned to do this surround, that could work too. Because you do use Liana to get the 4th and last character into the surround properly. So there you go. I mean, this fight, without doubt, takes some luck. You have to kill off the first wave very quickly. You know, the second wave, you just crush it as soon as you can. And in the third wave, you know, as long as you're left with enough time for that third and final wave, you should be able to handle it. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it took a bunch of luck, right? I needed a lot of triggers with regards to like Elwyn and so on. I definitely lost a few turns in terms of moving Leon up and down, but overall, I think it worked out quite well. The only thing I would have changed was not have Bozo do the summon early on, because that summon nearly got Leon killed, right, for the final wave. But other than that, everything was, I think, played out the way it needed to be. So I hope you found this video useful in your attempts to clear this fight. Thanks for watching, everyone. And on that note, Nitro out.